And I ran 30 miles, and that was really with no training. So I kind of looked and I thought, if I can do 30 miles with not really having a clue what I'm doing, not knowing if I've got the right kit really, what could I do if I really applied myself?
We've been together now for 22 years, and we've always pushed each other. It's always something that we've always done. We've always pushed each other to strive for more, to see what we're capable of doing. So this event, I always believed that Gemma was capable of doing this.
You're putting in a lot of miles, like during the week. It was practically every day I was running.
One thing that I admire Gemma for is that the mental robustness. She's willing to grind, she's willing to work hard. There's been many times in the business where we've had to work through when we've had deadlines, and I've seen her work right through the night. So
fucking horrible. Fucking horrible, like what the flying fuck. Honest to God, my knees are swollen.
you got it now?
Yeah, everything's just grinding now.
I feel I learned through the whole process a lot about myself. I learned that my determination is quite strong, and when I say I'm going to do something, I'm truly going to do it. And that, for me, it was the discipline. I think I learned a lot about myself, that like when I've got shit to do, I'll do the shit I need to do. This was a challenge I wanted to do to completely see how far I could push myself when I'd never done anything this extreme before. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. So yeah, I'm not going to say that every morning I jumped out of bed and was like, yep, here we go, you know, let's go and do a half marathon this morning before we go to work. It wasn't that feeling at all. It was the kind of like, right, I've got to grind here, the stuff I need to do. Stephen, my partner, challenged everybody and said, okay, if you've never run a half marathon, run a half marathon. If you never run a marathon, run a marathon, so on and so on. So if you'd run a half marathon, do a marathon. I'd never done any of it. So he challenged the whole community after he'd done his, he'd got his world record for his double Ironman, and I took part in that, and I thought, you know what, the most I've ever run is like 3 miles. I've not run for probably 6 to 8 years. Everybody's having a go, I'm gonna have a go. So I went out and I did the challenge.
We've been together now for 22 years, and we've always pushed each other. It's always something that we've always done. We've always pushed each other to strive for more, to see what we're capable of doing. So this event, I always believed that Gemma was capable of doing this. She'd done a 30-mile prior to that.
And I ran 30 miles, and that was really with no training. So I kind of looked and I thought, if I can do 30 miles with not really having a clue what I'm doing, not knowing if I've got the right kit really, what could I do if I really applied myself?
One thing that I admire Gemma for is that the mental robustness. She's willing to grind, she's willing to work hard. There's been many times in the business where we've had to work through when we've had deadlines, and I've seen her work right through the night. So she's certainly got that mental robustness as well. And I knew if she put her mind to it that there was no doubt she could do it. Obviously it was going to be a massive challenge running 100 miles. It's nigh on 4 marathons back to back. But yeah, I was always confident that she could do it if the preparation was there.
I wouldn't say she was sort of like, well, she liked sports, but I wouldn't say it was one of her things. And she was never a runner, you know. She was more competitive in things like getting things completed. Like, that's probably why she's interested in what she does today. So, like, you know, like when she was younger, she'd do like your games. She couldn't put it down till she completed it. She'd have to complete it. I think she just herself as well. Like, she just, if she says she's going to do something, she'll just do it. And I think also it's passionate. You know, like she has a passion for children because she was a teacher as well, and to help little ones and things like that. You know, she wanted to do. I think everybody, I don't know, has a thing where you want to help people, don't you? And it's nice to help people. And I don't know why she actually chose running. I can't answer that because I say she's not. She's never been a runner.
And for me, like for years, like seeing people run marathons or even half marathons, it's like it was well out of like anything I thought I could do, because it was just something I never put my attention on. I just knew that running was hard, and it felt hard. So when I then applied myself and I'd done the 30 miles, and I just thought, you know, if I really apply myself, what can I do? And I knew it was going to be a challenge, and I knew I had to like dig in, and I knew I was going to have to mentally go through things when you don't want to go out running and you're doing back-to-back marathons and you're putting in a lot of miles like during the week. Like, it was practically every day I was running. I just thought, this is something I want to do for me. I want to know how far I can push myself and what I'm capable of. So as soon as I got that, like a dog with a bone, as soon as I've got that idea, you know what I mean, I was making sure I did it. So it was kind of being challenged, but at the same time wanting to see what I personally was capable of, with giving a goal to achieve.
You can try, but I won't stop, won't stop. Won't stop. Won't stop. Won't stop. You can try, but I won't stop, won't stop. I can't be stopped now, I can't stop. I can't be stopped now, I can't stop. I can't be stopped now, I can't stop. You can try, but I won't stop, won't stop. Lions, tigers, bears are my king of the jungle, I stand for the pride. Beat on my chest, that's the rhythm inside. I got so much heart, I'm burning with fire. Can't stop, won't stop till I drop. Keep climbing for the top. Simmer down, you too loud, people around. You can try, but I won't stop, won't stop.
So Gemma's training had to be adapted, obviously for the 100 miler. So she reduced to sort of 2 sessions a week on weights, more strength conditioning. And the majority was obviously just getting better at the actual thing she was going to do, which was just running more. She had a specific program by her coach, Ronnie. He's the guy responsible for my program of getting the world record. And he had her following a set program.
So it was just a case of keeping the main thing, and saying what I was going to be doing, really. And that also, if I say I'm going to do something, and that was a challenge for myself, that I knew I had to put the miles in, I knew I had to work hard at it, and I knew that, yeah, it was going to be uncomfortable. But when things are uncomfortable, that's where the growth happens, isn't it? So I'd done all my training, literally done back-to-back marathons, I hit every single training mileage I was supposed to be doing, every single event that I was meant to be doing, and then literally 3 weeks out from the event I got an injury. Now, I'd never had an injury, so like for me it was a case of going, oh well, it's just like a little niggle, it's nothing major. And my coach said to me, take a couple of days off from running, go back on it. If you feel a niggle, you'll feel a niggle, keep going. So I felt a niggle, but it was quite an extreme niggle, and I kept going, and then I caused a bigger injury. So that kind of was a massive setback for me in that way, because I'd done 3 months, 4 months of constant training, hit every milestone that I needed to hit. I was literally a few weeks out from the event, and then it had to be called off. So that really was extremely frustrating.
And she pretty much had to start from scratch again. And that's one of the challenges with endurance events. But her training was sort of made up of around sort of 2-hour runs most of the time. And then she'd run a couple of bigger events, which would be sort of 4, even 5-hour sessions. And as she was sort of building up towards the back end, she was running a marathon one day and then a marathon the next day, which was just to get her used to that running while feeling tired. And that was going to be the closest thing that was going to sort of replicate what she had to do.
Worrying, you just worry, because you're a mama, I'm a mother. So I think any parent will worry about their children, don't they? Like I said before, we all worry about our kids. And yeah, I'm just worried about really more to do with her getting exhausted. You know, I know she damaged her ankle, but you can fix an ankle. But it was more the exhausted part of it. You know, like probably collapsing or something. That's what I was worried about.
When I realised that I couldn't walk properly and the pain was so extreme, and I had to knock it on the head, it was like a hit, because yeah, I'd put all this effort in, I'd done everything I needed to do, I was at the standard, I was ready to do it. So when I was told that, look, you need to rest, we're going to have to move the date, or even maybe not look at it this year, that for me was a bit of a blow. But now I'd stopped the training, I was near the end of the training, ready to do the event, couldn't do the event. When I went back into the training, it was kind of like, holy shit, do you really want to do this? Like, now you know what you've got to put your body through. You know the hours of running you've got to do. You know the commitment you've got to do, and all your eating and all your stretching and all the, you know, keeping yourself really disciplined on it. That kind of made me go, oh, this is bigger than, you know, when you just don't know something when you originally go into it, you kind of just go through the motions. But now I knew. So that second part of training, I exactly knew what I was going into, and I knew I had a shorter window of time as well to do it. So the ramping up of the mileage I had to do was pretty quickly increased and intensified.
In terms of preparation for the event, obviously I've got experience myself due to what I've done. 280 mile, 2 Ironman distances back to back, which consisted of a 2.4 mile swim, 112 mile on the bike, and then run a full marathon. And then I repeated it and done the whole lot again, which took over 30 hours non-stop. So I obviously have that experience as well of what it takes to do endurance at that level. The big thing, I guess, where I came in was making sure Gemma had the right nutrition, because it's absolutely essential. You've got to be getting around about 350 calories per hour plus half a litre of water. So on an event like Gemma's, if you think on that kind of amount of calories, you could consume more than what somebody eats in 7 days during a single event. So I guess that's where she had the more support from me, was really pushing her to make sure she had enough food and nutrition throughout of her training, and helping keeping her motivated, because it can be demoralising when you're doing sort of 4 to 6 months and you're out 5-6 times a week for hours and hours at a time in all weathers, all conditions. And especially when you're feeling tired as well. So just getting out and running with her occasionally and being a bit of support, it definitely helps.
Yeah, the actual getting up for the event, I was on it. It was kind of like, this shit's getting done, I'm on it. You know, get up, get yourself sorted, prepped, get what you need, you fuel yourself. I'd done all my fueling, carb loading, what I was told to do. And it was just a case of, right, I'm on it now. So it was like, that's what I'm doing. So like, I just went laser focused. Nerves and everything out the window. It was just like, this is what I need to do. Let's get on it.
So on the morning of the event, I knew Gemma would start to stay relaxed. So the big thing was keeping her relaxed. That's exactly what I did. It's kind of putting yourself in a state, building up to it. But knowing when you're about to come to the event, it's literally just staying as relaxed as you possibly can. And that's what I told her. I guess, so just let the nerves go now. You've done the training, you've done the preparation. Just try not to think about it now. It's just clocking those miles up.
The day of the actual run, I did get up earlier. I needed to. So most of my runs anyway, I was doing at 4 a.m, 5 a.m s, you know what I mean, 6 a.m s, fitting them in before my working day and things. So this one, I decided to start at 6 a.m. People might think it's a bit weird, but I like the dark. I like running in the dark, and a lot of my training was in the dark because of the colder months. Yeah, and then on the dot, 6 a.m, I set off.
No man now. Diamonds in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the number, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. Big time.
It really helps when you're doing an event to have people out supporting. For myself, when I did my event, I didn't really think much of it. I thought it won't really help me, but it won't hinder me neither. I just kind of thought I'm in my own zone, so it won't really affect me. But what I was really surprised with was how much it did actually help me, having people out when I was tired. And I said that to Gemma. Gemma tends to like to run by herself. And I said to her that it will help you, and it certainly did. We had people that came out on the route. People that particularly stood out was the young lad who came out and donated his £5 pocket money. I mean, just how nice that was for a young lad to sort of run out of the van and run up to Gemma and to give her that. It definitely helps. And then the guy who just came out all night, he was out literally every single lap, all the way around, even through the night. He came out every single time, but pretty much bang on that hour, an hour and 10 minutes, came out and gave her a round of applause, and that really does help you, and it certainly did help Gemma as well, knowing that there was people behind her.
Mine's Peter Hughes. I live in Redcar, have done all my life. Yeah, I went on Facebook just on the morning to just check what's happening in the world. And there was a post from this lass that I'd never seen before, didn't know. And she put she was going to run 100 miles for Zoe's place. And my first reaction was, oh, bless her. She's put an extra 0 on the end. You know, she's obviously going to do 10 miles, which is sort of what people can do. And she's put an extra 0 on the end. And at the end of the day, she's going to do a 10 mile, dead chuffed with herself, raise money for a good cause. And the trolls on the internet are going to say, where's the other 90 miles? You know, what you're doing, you lazy so-and-so. And I thought, oh, bless her, she's going to feel so bad when she realises. Anyway, didn't think anything more about it. Watched a bit of telly, went to work, came back in about 11 o'clock on the night. Turned my Facebook back on, and I couldn't really understand what was happening because it said she was still running. And I thought, that looks a bit weird. You could go see where she actually was in Redcar. And I pressed it and she's still sort of halfway around Redcar. I thought, hang about, it says here she's done 60 odd mile. And I was like, that's impossible. That's like she's almost done 3 marathons already. So I ended up, checked where she was, and she was not far coming up Kirkleatham Lane. So I thought, oh, bless her, I'll see if she needs a bit of support. So I just went out around the corner and, come on, Gemma, come on, you can do it, you can do it. She seemed happy that she got a bit of support. Blah, blah, blah. She did another lap, and it was taking just over an hour, so I'll stop up for the next one. And came out, give her another, come on girl, you can do it. And then I got to a point like a little bit, if you watch the Olympics or something like that, I'll just watch the next event, and before you know it, it's, you know, whatever time in the morning. And I sort of was going out every hour till, I think she passed the last time about 6 o'clock by here, but then I was still sort of on the laptop, go on girl, go on, you can do it, go on. I was following on the laptop to see if she did it.
Yeah, so on the event, a lot of my training I did completely on my own, you know, headphones on and off you go. But on the actual event, it was completely different. From my first mile to the last mile, I was really, really fortunate to have people with me. But yeah, it was really, I found that really useful. I didn't think I would, because I'd done all my training on my own practically, apart from Stephen near the end was doing the larger miles with me, keep me company. But actually it helped a lot, just to have somebody there to talk to. Yeah, so that was a massive support. And I didn't even listen to my music once on the whole 100 miles.
The real challenge where Gemma had was in between that sort of 40 to 70 mile point. It's the point where David Goggins talks about where he was pissing blood and didn't think that he had any more in the tank. Gemma kind of got a second wind around that point, and I remember there was a sort of period where a dad had came out, a brother had come out on the bike, and I knew that they were going to give her a little bit of a different angle, just having a family around us, and the team said to me, go get your head down for an hour or two while these are out, and then you can pick up in the morning and get a couple of laps with her then, so that you're fresh and best prepared for it. So I kind of done a little bit of a handover with a mum, just made sure that the food and everything was prepped out, because everything was laid out each hour, what she had to eat, what she had to drink. And I tried to get my head down for a little bit. I said to her, Mum, if anything happens at all, just make sure, just come and get me straight away. It was very difficult to try and go to sleep, but I was absolutely knackered. It was like early hours in the morning and being buzzing about. You're in a high state yourself, trying to make sure that she's prepped the food and everything's there, buzzing about on the route and things.
When I started running, the first 40 miles zipped by like nothing at all. Like I had so much in the bag and everything. And up to about 70 miles of running, it felt okay, it felt fine. And then when I hit about 70, 75 miles, then I started to feel like, yeah, I went in a dip. And at that point it was a case of, right, this is what we're doing, this is what we need, you know what I mean? Because I'd been flying, my time had been great, and I hadn't had any niggles, I'd been good, been fueling fine, but I hit 70, 75 miles and it was a case of, right, now we need to look at a different strategy. You know, like we need to maybe do a bit of 30 seconds of walk and the rest run, and let's mix it up a little bit. So that was my coach said to me, you know, let's just get going, because I hit a dip.
Tell me how you feeling?
Getting a roller coaster ride. That's all I can describe it as. Sometimes I feel really strong and a lap flies by. I've hit 2 walls. One at a 65 and 66 mile point. Then after that I was flying. And then I hit another wall around about the 79. Roller coaster.
What have you got to say?
I think I've experienced every emotion.
I think my mindset was the bit that pulled me through. It was like, I'm doing this regardless. So it was just keep moving, and don't dwell on anything. I remember my mum was a bit concerned and she came to me and she was like, oh, Gem, and I just said, don't be nice to me. Don't be nice to me, be a bitch. Don't say anything nice, don't give me any comfort, don't pander me, nothing, just don't be nice. And she was just like, okay.
I mean, I went to give her a hug and she was like, oh no, don't. I have to do this. I couldn't show her any softness, you know, like oh, give us a cuddle, you're all right, because I could see that she was hurting. She must have been in agony. And she said, oh no, you can't. So she had to remain strong. So I had to be that with her, you know. I was really scared. Yeah, she looked absolutely worn out, and she was. And I think there was a point as well where her heartbeat had been really fast. And I think a trainer was concerned, had some concern, because heartbeat just plummeted down. And he said, and that's when your body has to protect it protects itself, you know, because you've gone over what you're supposed to be doing. So he went out with her at that point and just kept her okay. So she'd pick up pace and she'd feel flagged and she'd pick up again. It was horrible, absolutely awful. But yeah, she did it a while. I'd say it was later on. I mean, I don't think she had that much to go, really. You know, I think I can't remember what time it was. I know it was like late on. And I kept saying to her, like, you've got this one to do, then you've got that drink, and after that you've got that drink, and then you've only got another drink and you're done. So I was trying to make it sound like it was going quicker by saying, you've got that drink now, then when you come back you've got that drink, then you're done. Do you see what I mean? You've got that and you're finished. So just to speed it up for her a little bit, to make it sound speeded up, but it obviously wasn't, because it wasn't me doing it, it was her.
And I came down and she should have gone out, and I seen a dad and that there, and I was a bit confused of why are they in the house, because they were meant to be going out with her. And when they said, oh, she's in the room, she was meant to have left by that point. And when I went in, she'd hit rock bottom. A man was sort of seen to her, and she was feeling sorry for herself. She had her shoes off, her feet were very, very swollen, and I had to be tough. That tough love came out, and I kind of shoved the mum out the way and said, right, let me in. And I had that pep talk and said, right, look, I think she had about 15 miles to do at that point. And I basically said, all right, let's sort yourself out, let's get these shoes back on, and let's put to bed what you've started.
Ready for them 6 miles to be over. Like, God.
What's it been like?
Nothing I've ever experienced. Like, can't even put it into words. Like,
Who's tougher, you or David Goggins?
well, let me just say this. I wasn't pissing blood at the 70-mile point.
What was harder, the training or the event?
The event. Therefore, I don't think any amount of training can prepare you for this event. Roller coaster.
Okay, little jog up to that bus stop. Ready, let's go. That's it. Good. Stay focused on the bus stop. Let's go. Not thinking of anything else now. Just tunnel vision on that bus stop.
Tell him where hurts. Where hurts, Gemma?
Everywhere. I don't think there's one part of my body that doesn't hurt right now. Even just to touch my skin, like even on my shoulders hurts. Every part of your body's got to be involved in it, hasn't it? But I'm happy my feet held out and proper foot care and things, and I haven't had a blister. Determination and the will you've got to have is intense.
Come on then, let's put the last bit to bed.
I'm on it.
Good.
$99.72. Nearly there. Hi, babes. Hi. You alright? I'm doing really good. Thanks, Gordon. Oh, nearly there, baby. Nearly there. Are you?
I think turn around there.
Turn around here. Oh, God, this is it. Last bit.
There they are, waiting at the house for you.
Scott here supporting.
Everyone, show your support for Gemma. Zoe's place. She's doing it for a well-worthy cause, trying to raise money for a local charity. She's running 100 miles. She's run 100 miles. We're just about to finish 100 miles and we'll be celebrating her across the line. She's doing it to say you are basically better than what you think you are, that we're all capable of so much more. And sponsored by Biz on Fire and SG Property and Stephen Green's Property Investment Academy. Gemma's absolutely smashed it. So just close to 25 hours that she's ran, walked, jogged, and here she comes on her last few metres. So we're going to wish her well.
Come on, Gem.
The line.
my God.
Well done.
3.5 days of recovery. Done it.
How are you feeling?
Thank you. Thank you. No, thank you everyone for all your support.
I doubt you. Did doubt you, no. Well done.
No, thank you. Thank you. Done it.
How are you feeling?
Happy it's done. I just want to say thank you to everybody for supporting me. It's been tough, it's been long, but anything is possible.
Well done.
I heard some things to make me think I shouldn't care for you. But talk is cheap, especially when we only careful halves the truth. I don't know what you've been through.
I was a school teacher for a long time, and I had lots of children who required support from Zoe, you know, during my career of teaching. And I just saw the wonderful things they did for not only the children at the time of need, but the parents as well. You know, seeing families struggling with extremely traumatic things for their children. I just think it's a really, really worthy cause to provide something that provides, you know what I mean, support for families at the most emotional time in their life, and also children. So that was quite close to my heart, really, Zoe's Place.
Okay, so this is for you, and I wanted to tell you that is incredible. So yeah, there was a lot of people that came out on the run.
So I'm Rebecca Jobson, I'm the head of fundraising here at Zoe's Place Baby Hospice in Middlesbrough. Zoe's Place is a baby-specific hospice, so there's 3 hospices located around the country. There's one in Middlesbrough, one in Liverpool and one in Coventry, and we provide respite, palliative and end-of-life care for babies from birth to the age of 5. So it currently costs just over £1 million a year to run Zoe's Place in Middlesbrough, so we can look after up to 6 children at a time, and they will come for 1 or 2 nights break. Obviously that requires a lot of fundraising for us throughout the year. We get a small amount of statutory funding, but the rest is fundraised from different businesses, individuals, people who play the lottery, regular giving, or gifts in wills. So it's just a constant fun challenge to get people to give to the cause. People like Gemma are just a massive inspiration, so to be able to raise that amount of money, so the difference that makes to the families is incredible. But for people like Gemma who've done this fantastic challenge of running over 100 miles, it's just really warming that they've gone to such lengths to raise money for this cause as well. So it feels like everybody gets something out of it, and it is a great story to be able to use to share and raise awareness for Zoe's.